Welcome to XPhys Biz with me, Aaron King, a podcast for exercise physiologists and health professionals wanting to grow and scale in business. So I went viral on Instagram and I've gone viral on TikTok, and I'm here to share my insights on what I learned from the experience, and I continue to analyze my audience and what I've done to increase my social growth and also things that can increase your social growth. Part of going viral or growth on Instagram, some of it can be like, who knows why it happened. And there is an element of that anytime somebody grows on Instagram, just something vibes with an audience, and then it gets shared. Because I did post something similar to what's gone viral about 2 weeks prior, and nothing happened. It bombed. I thought it was super funny, but it just didn't hit in the same way. So I'm here to share my experience, and I've also analyzed all the results, and I continue to grow my social profiles, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. The main audience that I choose to share on is Instagram, and I'll tell you a little bit of a reason why. So here it is. I don't know if you've seen it, if you're listening to me now, and if you know which videos I'm already referring to. I made a funny video called Fuck Burpees, and I became that guy for a couple of months. So I made an educational / entertainment, edutainment, I guess you would call it, video where I started to instruct how to do a burpee. And it was, stand up tall, squat down, legs out, go down to the floor, roll onto your side, bring your knees up, have a cry, because fuck burpees. So it started off as a legitimate tutorial and people looked at that, but then it took a turn. I think I said I was in the fetal position or something as well. That was just off the top of my head, and it kind of, it's been shared that much now. It almost, I can almost recite it word for word still. So I shared that, and it had around 20 million shares and millions of interactions. You're looking at, I think 500,000 shares, 500,000 likes, 20 million views, and these sorts of numbers. So it was funny because I posted a video 2 weeks prior doing the exact same thing for Bulgarian split squats. So it was getting into position, pop one leg forward, stand up, pop your leg back, and then walk away because fuck that and choose a different exercise. That was the essence of the video. It was very similar theme. Basically, the audience doesn't seem to like burpees or Bulgarian split squats. So I just thought, you know what, I'll just make a dumb video on it. And I did consider whether I was going to swear or not on camera. I was like, I don't know, because it's pretty common thing to do. But I was like, should I keep this corporate or should I just be myself? And I decided to be myself. And also that was probably part of why people connected with it, because it was just someone being normal and genuine and a little bit funny. And I didn't go with the intention to make that. I did record it and think, mate, this is my funniest video ever. But I've thought that in the past, and you get 2,000 views and nothing really happens. But I did record the Bulgarian split squats one 2 weeks prior to the burpees one, 2,000 views. Then I posted the Bulgarian split squats, the burpees one, sorry. Then I went to sleep, woke up, 2,000 shares in the morning. I was like, what the hell? What is this? And then, now it's over millions of interactions already. And that was a few months ago. So then a few days later, or a week or two later, I can't remember the exact timeline, I decided to share the same Bulgarian split squat video that I did because the theme was hot, basically. And I did it. And it's also got a similar experience where there's 20 million views on it. My daughter's teacher said, "Hey, I saw you on TikTok." I'd been recognized at a gymnastics center and also when I got food. I thought that was really weird, but I rolled with it anyway. So it was interesting. We've also got a number of clients from that. And obviously that's the important point of growing on Instagram, going viral, or finding your audience. It's not just about making videos and getting views. It's about converting those people into clients, because that's why you're in business at the end of the day. Some of it can be entertainment, some of it needs to be education, and finding the balance needs to be a consideration. So it did actually start a bit of a trend. I became the, oh, fuck that guy. So even when I was posting educational things, people were like, oh, I thought you were just going to walk away. And there was a lot of comments along that theme. So there was half a dozen videos with a similar style. There were certain things that I thought, no, I'm not going to make fun of, whether it be deadlifts or squats or something like that. So I'm like, no, they're good exercises. I'm not just going to make a video to be dumb and make fun of the exercise if I don't believe it. Like, it was only me just being dumb on burpees because I don't really like burpees. I don't think they're a useful exercise in most cases, and there's probably better ways to achieve the purpose. And it's half the people just do burpees for the sake of getting sweaty. So it actually started a bit of a trend. People started copying the theme, copying the audio, even trying to use their original audio and use my voice. I'd even scroll Instagram and hear my own voice on somebody else's original audio. Clearly it wasn't original, but it was really weird. So I didn't realize at the time that, I was going to hit like this. And you don't really know. You just keep making content that you think is interesting, that is catered towards your audience, and then some things are going to take off. But the consistency of people seeing your content, because prior to that, I was actually posting regular content daily to get it out and to get an audience. And then sometimes it sort of compounds. The efforts are compounded, and then something kicks off. And you don't always know which one is going to kick off. But then something does, and then you can run off the back of that. So I didn't realize in making this style of video that it hadn't been done before, and then it became a bit of a trend. So then people would follow my account. And then the first client that I got online based on, they saw the Bulgarian split squats or the burpees video, was, oh, I followed your account because it was funny, because I really related to that burpees post. So they found me from the viral videos, but then once they started to look through the content, they found the educational content and thought, oh, look, they do know what they're talking about. I'll reach out to them about services. Now, we've seen some clients face-to-face and some online based on those viral videos, but people don't convert into clients based on a totally, funny video. I don't think the people are getting converted based on me making fun of exercises, but they will come in via that portal, via those videos, and then they will see that we actually do coaching, we actually do education. We're only just, being a bit lighthearted. We're not really serious, and we actually do know what we're talking about. It's just that it's relatable because everybody has things that they do like and don't like. It was relatable, and then they found that they wanted to engage with us based on the fact that they saw that we were real people, we were genuine, and we didn't take ourselves too seriously, but we still knew what we were talking about based on scrolling the educational reels and educational content that we also had. So at the end of the day, the educational content is not going to get as many views as some of the entertainment content, but it's the ones that are going to convert a little bit more. So if you're making content, you need to think, well, yeah, you went viral, but what am I going to do? One, I didn't know that I was going to go viral, and I'm still maintaining that growth and those numbers based on what I've learned from that. And what I've learned is needing to assess your audience. So you can go into the professional dashboard of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want, and look at your audience. So I know that our audience on TikTok is younger, which is probably expected, but the average age is, in their 20s, where the average age, and it's actually slightly higher for males and females. It's a bit more 50-50, but slightly skewed towards males on TikTok. On Instagram, it's skewed towards females by about 70 to 75%, and the age is anywhere between that sort of 25 to 45 is the average, which you probably do expect because that is the average age is slightly higher on Instagram compared to TikTok. And I spend most of our time and social media efforts on Instagram. Basically, I'm just posting things on Instagram across to TikTok just because I've got a profile there. But the majority of our types of clients, of our target audience, they're on Instagram. I don't know, okay, there's mostly females. There is mostly middle-aged, I guess you would say, over there. So our content can be related to the audience that we have as well. So you can analyze your audience, check the ages, genders, locations, things like that as well. We've actually got a pretty high percentage from the US. So I'm maybe mention in some of the videos, pounds or miles or things like that, or just reference both the metric and imperial system as well. And what you then need to do is not just post reels. Reels are probably what's going to get new people engaging in your content. If you're looking at photo content, that's going to engage your current audience and put you as a thought leader. I guess that's a pretty shitty word. I don't actually like that one because that's overused and a bit of a buzzword. But you position yourself as a leader by using photo content, and then you also can grow with reels, because that's what people scroll and it comes across their page when they're not even following you and they see on their explore page and things like that. So that's how to get new people across based on your audience or your perceived audience or your expected audience, the audience that you want. Make sure you engage in the content on people that do engage with you. Don't just ignore it as well. Ask questions and post polls, ask questions, get engagement on your stories as well, because the people that are watching your stories are the people that are most likely engaged and are considering your service, or they just like what you do. It could be either one. But your audience that's engaging with you on your stories, they're the ones that are more likely clients and more interested in your service. It does take time. And if you are posting, it can take a little bit of time. If you're looking at regular growth, you can post daily, and that's going to be the best. You can even post more than that. And that's also going to be okay. The more you post, the better it will be. But you obviously can't spend all your time if you're not getting the value out of it just yet. It can be less, but typically the sweet spot is like a post a day, or a reel a day rather, because you get that compound interest where there's people that are regularly seeing that, out of sight, out of mind. So reels for growth, images for your current audience, and getting engaged on your stories with your audience as well. So, because you don't know which one is really going to go viral, but something might go viral, something might take off, or your audience will grow organically slowly over time, or you might have an element of both of those things. Because if you do go viral, there's a higher chance that you get unfollows in the future, and a higher number of those, because if people follow you just for one funny video that you did or something that you did that went viral, they only were really interested in that one video and they followed you. And then in the future, when you start posting legitimate content, they're like, oh, I didn't want to see this actual education. I just wanted to see dumb stuff. So that's kind of expected. If you grow more slowly, it's less likely to be that, people are going to unfollow you as often or in as high numbers. But you just have to accept that that's just what happens. If you're thinking of where to spend your time, or what business do you do, where are they, which social platform? Like I said, we spend a bit more of our time on Instagram because business to consumer, and our audience is a little bit more, I guess, middle-aged as far as the types of clients that we see and we regularly see, as opposed to the younger audience. And even then, the younger audience that does see us, we have a lot of youth athletes. Their parents are the ones that are making the decisions with them. So their parents are over on Instagram anyway. If you're more business to business, or your types of clients are business people or other businesses, then it might be LinkedIn or, TikTok or Facebook if they're a bit older. So you need to just think where the audience is and think, is it worth it, and where is it going to be worth it? Because people might have come for the funny stuff, but inquired because of the legitimate education and the content. So it's important that you have both. Don't just focus on views, because in our case, our educational content doesn't get anywhere near the amount of views, but it's what converts the people who are interested. Yeah, and I think there are other benefits as well. It provides a level of legitimacy. Like, you don't need a social media platform, you don't need a social presence, but just like you don't need a website, but it also provides a level of legitimacy because people will look you up. They'll say, oh, do you have a website? Do you have a profile with some stuff on your social media accounts? You don't need it, but it's just another layer where people can contact you, because people are going to contact you where they feel most comfortable. Sometimes that's Instagram, sometimes that's Facebook, sometimes that's a website, or sometimes it's a phone number. And at the end of the day, if you grow your audience, your numbers of inquiries might end up becoming bigger as well. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to probability. Like, if 1% of your audience are keen and you have 100 followers, well, then one person might be keen. But if you have 1,000, then it's 10 people. If you have 100,000, obviously, and it grows exponentially that way. So you can provide offers, opportunities in your stories as well, because that's where the engaged audience is. And, anything can come of it, because you don't really know what happens at the end of the day, which is weird. Even a couple of weird things happened to me. I'll still consider them a bit weird. Like, I was wearing a specific brand of shoes in my viral videos, and someone asked me, what shoes are you wearing? And I thought, oh, that's weird. I'm like one of those people. Oh, what's your clothes? What are you wearing? Like, I love it. I thought it was okay. I'm one of those Insta famous girls that like, oh, where's your outfit from, or some shit like that. I thought it was weird. But I answered or tagged Xero shoes. That's what I was wearing at the time. I'm still wearing them now, actually. And the company actually reached out to me and said, hey, we'll give you some shoes because I saw your reels, saw you mentioned us, and I was wearing them in the viral reel, so they were getting a bit of exposure, I guess. You'd say, and they reached out to me and said, "Oh, I'll give you new shoes." And I thought, okay, this is weird. Is this what like influencer things feel like? And a meal prep company as well reached out to me, and I've got a discount code for that as well, which is a bit more local to us. And I accepted those two and worked with those two mainly because they're things I already did. I was already wearing the shoes, and I was already bought meals from this company as well. There are other things that. A couple of others that reached out and was like, no, I'm not doing teeth whitening and shit like that. I would only ever want to work with things that are actually part of something that I would believe in anyway, and I wouldn't want to go beyond that. So I was happy to, because at the end of the day, I paid for shoes with my own money. So when they said, hey, we'll give you a free pair of the ones that you already have, sure. Sounds good to me. But honestly, I thought that was a bit weird. Like, I'm just a guy running an oral health facility and gym in Southwest Sydney, and for a split second there, I was Insta famous. But I've learned a bit from that, and now I've looked to, what you need to do. So if you're looking in summary, posting regular content, making sure that it's a mixture of education and entertainment, because at the end of the day, you don't always know what's going to just take off, what's going to pop off. But assessing your audience and making sure that you're catering towards your clients, your perceived clients, and the questions that they have. At the end of the day, you can ask, like, hey, what do you want to know more about? What's your biggest concern, A or B? And, people can answer polls, and then you just make content out of that. Think about what platform is best for you and how often you do need to post. Make sure that you're engaging with and interacting with people that engage with your own content, and making sure that it's not just too skewed towards one thing. Like, I know that on our social media content is skewed towards general clients and also entertainment, basically because we don't post too many of our NDIS clients or work cover clients or things like that as well, because obviously not everything is public. So everyone's social is skewed towards one way, depending upon what's appropriate to post and what they've got the authority to post, I guess, at the end of the day. But you just need to analyze your audience and consider what's best for you, what types of clients you need, and stick with it. But at the end of the day, reach out if you're looking for a bit of business support, and check the info in the description. Hope you've got some value out of the content, and reach out if you want to chat. You've just listened to another episode of XFizBiz. If you've got some value out of the content, make sure that you like, share, follow, or subscribe. Until next time.